So I was Tamara just said recently, it was like, you need to share. She's been telling me to reach out to you because I joined your membership. Like, I believe it was like it's been less than a month. It hasn't even been a month. But I had gone through like some of your courses with her before because she talks to me about deliverance all the time. And
Because you
so I
can't
was like,
stop,
okay.
man. We just can't shut up about it. Sorry.
So I joined the membership because after I had my daughter, I went through like seizures and I had two seizures and one at the house and then one when they took me to the ER. They didn't check me or anything. They just put me in a room.
What?
And when I woke up, like my dad was talking to me and he put his hand on my face and I just started having a seizure. And so they were like telling my mom that I was epileptic. She's like, no, she's not. But long story short, like I ended up finding out that my ex-husband's, my daughter's dad, his mom was like going to see a witch. And I didn't know anything about that, but I kept telling my mom because at the time I didn't know anything about deliverance. I was like, it's something, it's not, this is not normal. I've never spent the night in the hospital. Like, this isn't normal. But my mom was like, well, no, like, it's just maybe your body. But I knew it was something more. And when Tamara and I spoke about it, we were like, it kind of made sense when I started learning more about deliverance. And so they had diagnosed me with chronic anxiety. And I was telling Tamara that I'm just tired of this. Like, I'm tired of feeling all these feelings. Like, I want to go through deliverance because I believe that just the classes that I had gone through of yours, like, so much stuff had gotten free. I wanted to target this. And
Ooh.
so that was like really big for me because I was like, I don't want to be on medication. I want to be free from this. So um, I bought the membership. I believe it was like that day, and I just started. I started with the baby dedications, and I just was like going down the list of things. And I was like, even if I don't know if this applies to me, I was just saying everything that you were saying. And it wasn't even maybe like 2 days later that so I on my own reading program and I was working for the school system where we live. And God had told me to quit my job and to step out and to pursue that. But I had just gotten into leadership at the school and I was like, "Mm, okay." But I left anyway. And my aunt pulled me to the side. She's like, you're not yourself. Like, I know you're in leadership, but this is not what I think God is telling you to do. You should have continued on the path that you know that you were supposed to. So I left. I left and I just began to really like listen to God and really pour into what he was had gifted me to do when it came to reading. And so we had a pop-up visit. I still was working at my second job. So it was at the school, but it wasn't for the school, but God hadn't told me to leave that. And so we were at the school, we had a pop-up visit, and one of the
Pop-up
directors was
visit
like,
from who?
from the they're called KHA. They're the people who give money to the reading programs.
There you go.
So
Okay.
we had and it actually, my principal has been trying to get the program out of her school, but it ended up working out. So I'm the
Oh,
literacy director for the program for that company. So I had to walk around with them. And so everybody was like super nervous. They're always nervous when these people come, but I'm like, it's not a big deal. So I'm walking around, I'm talking to them. And the lady, she's like, it sucks that they don't have a coach here. And I was like, well, I was the coach, but I left. And she's like, what do you do now? And I was like, well, I work for me during the day. And she said, well, what does that look like? And so I was like, I just provide services for kids and things like that. And I said, I wrote my own curriculum and it got 83% gains. And she was like, why are you not selling yourself? Like, why are you not talking to me about your program? Like, you're talking to me about them. Like, I know you're at work, but and she's like, you know what? She's like, I don't want to talk to you about these people. I want to talk to you about you. And I want to get you in front of some kids and I want to get you in front of some principals. And she gave me all of her contact information. And so I reached out to her And maybe like a couple of days later, she called me and she said, "How can I get on your schedule?" And I was like, "I'm free." So I came, and it was supposed to be 3 people that I was presenting in front of. One lady was sick and the other lady got pulled into a meeting. So it was just her and I. And I presented in front of her, and she was blown away. And so we sat down and she said, "I want your program into 3 schools." And she asked me
Ooh.
how much did I want to charge. And I was like, "Well, this is my first go round. I have no idea." And so she gave me, like, she's like, off the record, and she gave me a list of everything that I should be charging, what I should be working on.
Oh.
And she's like, "I'm gonna send you 2 proposals from these big like companies that get $1 million contracts." And she's like, "I want you to use those to rewrite your proposal and send it to me. And then I'm gonna have you present in front of the CEO and the CFO, and then we're gonna sit down and negotiate a contract for you." And so it's like, my mind was blown. Like, I was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Okay, okay." And so I went home and I just had been like working on the proposal. And mind you, I've only been in literacy like not that long, but I was talking to Tamara and she was telling me that you had mentioned in one of the classes like how God gives you wisdom to do these things. Like, when I met my principal, she gave me the space to do whatever I wanted with the kids. And so I had the opportunity to actually sit and write what was working, what wasn't, and use my own materials on the kids. And I got 83% gains. So
Mm.
that's what made her want to bring me on to leadership. But God was like, "No, like,
Ah,
I want you to go and do your own thing." And
okay.
so I'm still like going through Deliverance. I was still taking your classes, and I realized that I had not taken medicine for my anxiety in like days. And normally, if I go a day, I cannot function. Like, it's like I'm like jittery, and I had not felt anything. And I was like, "Wow, oh my gosh, like it's gone." And oh, and
Oh,
then
wait, y'all
oh,
hear, wait, y'all hear that?
huh?
The money's coming in, the
Mhm.
anxiety's leaving, and it's
Mhm.
just happening. Like
It
it's
And
just
it wasn't
happening.
even a week that all of this stuff started happening that I
Y'all hear
had
that?
started doing Deliverance. Yeah. And I, like, my mind was blown, and I had not worked for the school in over a month at this point. And I looked at my email because it tells me the mail that's coming to me. And I had gotten a check from the school. And I was like asking Tamara, I'm like, "Look at this. Like, I haven't worked for them in over a month. Like, why do I get a check from them?" But it was a legit check from their financial department. I guess they owed me money that they had not given me yet.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about, man. Money just comes out of nowhere, y'all. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
pluck from air, pluck money out of the sky. Like people, it's like people are coming up with excuses to give you checks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
Yes.
love it.
So
We
I'm still doing Deliverance. I'm almost finished with the fight for love. Like, I've been taking my time going through that because I realized like there was stuff that just with my ex-husband's his mom going to a witch, and me having a daughter and stuff like that, just like how important it is to cover her and to everything like that. And when I had the seizures, my mom didn't tell me till years later, but she said that the day that she found me unconscious, he was actually here. He was in the room with me. And he went to get my sister, and then my sister went to get my mom. And
Who's
my mom said
the
she'll
ex or your
never
dad?
know, my ex-husband.
Oh, okay.
She said she'll never forget that I was laying there foaming out of the mouth, and he just was texting. Like like I wasn't laying there unconscious.
Oh, that's disheartening.
Yeah. And so I was telling my mom that as time went on, like I was able to put things together, like about witchcraft with them, with that side, and not knowing.
Mm.
And I look back on old pictures, and like he had given me a necklace and it had an eye on it, and I didn't know what that was back then. And
Right?
so it was a lot of stuff
Monitoring.
that yeah, I had to break off, but yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Woo. I mean, like when your eyes open and then you look back, you're like, oh my goodness, all this stuff was happening to me and I didn't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild.
So
Mm,
yeah,
mm, mm, mm.
that's my testimony.
That's like explosive.
Yeah.
That's
And it happened
explosive.
so fast. My mind was blown. I was like, I just went through this to get rid of the anxiety. Oh my God, look at all this stuff happening.
Like she about to be a millionaire. Okay. You about to get millionaire grants. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And I kept hearing God talk to me about overflow. And when I sat down at that meeting with the lady, before we ended the meeting, she said that. She said, "This is your overflow." And I was like, there's no way. There's no way you could have known that I heard that. Yeah. It
Ooh.
was, and I just left out and I called Tamara. I'm like, the lady just said the thing about overflow. Like, how would she know that? But yeah, it was, but it's, and then, oh, I forgot. So I was sitting working on my proposal and I had gotten an email. And so there was a lady who used to work at the school with me. She actually left first to start her own micro school. And her and I didn't really have much interaction because we worked on different grade levels. And so I was working on my proposal and I got an email from the lady who offered me to work for the city. And she was talking to someone else in the email and she said, "This is the person who, I was telling you about that has the curriculum and everything like that." And when I looked, I'm like, this is the lady that worked at the school with me. And so I called her. We scheduled a meeting, and when she called me, she was being like super formal, and I was like, "You know me?" And she's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, we used to work at the school together." And everything I was saying to her, she was looking for a literacy curriculum. She was like, "I don't know what I'm doing with this, and I just really need help." And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, my curriculum's not finished. I know it works, but it's not finished. She's like, whatever you need me to sign, I will sign to say I am not going to steal your stuff. Like, I need help. And before we got off the phone, she said, if you have time, would you mind sitting on the board for my schools? And I was like, really?
What?
Yeah. So I'm going to be in
Oh,
charge of the direction for the reading for all of the schools that she's going to have. I'm going to be in charge of leading reading for those schools.
that's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It
That's
is.
you went from wait, did you leave the leadership? Had you left the
I
position?
left. Yeah, I
How
left.
long ago was that?
This was maybe the first or second week in September, I believe. I had gotten really sick. I had gotten really, really sick, and nobody could figure out what was wrong with me. I went to multiple doctors. I didn't have anything. And I was telling Tamara, I think God is like, enough, because he had been telling me to leave. And I was like, well, okay, I'm going to leave. And I just got sick. And during that time that I got sick, I heard so much like, this, you're done, like, leave.
Oh,
And
okay.
so, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So, yeah.
Oh, this is so exciting. I hope you're documenting this story in a little timeline so
Yeah.
you can tell it so you can tell it again and again. That is
Yeah. I do
so
like
awesome.
journals
Oh,
to keep up with
good.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so good. Oh, I cannot wait to see where this is. I mean, we kind of see where it's going, but you're gonna be like a whole different person.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a whole different life. You get to be there with your child. That's
Yes.
and that's so
Yes.
important.
Yeah. And I
How
have
old
so
is
much more energy to give to
really?
her and to be able to go to things at her school. And
Yes. How old is she?
she just turned 6 like a couple of days ago.
Okay. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
very important age. You know
Yeah.
what? When my baby was 5, I thought it was a flex. To me, it felt like a flex to be able to pick my child up after school and let him play on the playground and watch him play and climb this little bitty tree. And I didn't have to rush.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
he didn't have to get on a bus. There wasn't a bunch of anxiety behind that and all that.
Yeah.
That was a flex for me.
Hmm.
I was
Just to
like,
go to the
yeah,
park because I
I
don't
have
have to worry
arrived.
about waking up. Yeah. I don't have to worry about waking up at 5 a.m. and hurry up. And I prayed for that. I was like, God, I just want slow mornings. I want to be able to cook her breakfast and take her to school where she's not the
Oh,
first kid there at 6:30 because I have to go across town. Like I want to take her to school right before she's walking in and have breakfast with her and have conversations. And I prayed. I was like, I want to be able to go to the gym in the mornings and just not worrying
yes,
about rushing to meetings and sitting in
yes.
front of these people. And I got it. It came.
Praise the Lord.
Got
Praise the
that.
Lord. Did you have this written down on some kind of like
Yeah, I will write it down, but I would say it out loud every morning.
right?
Like,
I actually have mine, but I wrote it in 2017. I have to get a new one because a lot of things already came to pass.
yeah,
It's
I would tell God, this is
amazing.
what I want my morning to look like, please. Please.
Really?
Yeah.
See y'all. I'm trying to tell you, you got to write the vision, make it plain. You got to confess. And this is the this is what the worldly programs are telling people. Okay, they don't mention
Mhm.
Jesus, but they talk about writing down what you want your life to look like and confessing it every day and all of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Janae. Thank you for
No
sharing.
problem.
Start your deliverance journey today with the Breaking Curses 101 School of Deliverance. You can get delivered in the privacy of your own home. We've served over 6,000 people since 2016. So check out my link in the description below to take my free course to get started.